So you want to go first, Beth?
Okay, hi, I'm Beth, and I am here in New Jersey in the United States. I've been a student of Kabbalistic healing for 16 years, and amazingly, now I'm a teacher. And I'm very excited to be here and share this beautiful work with all of you.
Yeah, and my name is Tadeja Bradaš. I'm also an NKH teacher since very recently, co-teaching with Beth. I've been involved with NKH a little less than that, like 11 years. It has completely changed my life, and I can't really imagine my life without this, how should I call it, this level of presence and awakening that non-dual Kabbalistic healing has brought to me. And before we start, I would just like to let you know that we will record this meeting, but we will record just the two of us. So you can open your cameras so that we see you while we talk with each other. You don't have to, hide yourself because you don't want to be on this recording. Everybody that registered will receive audio recording within the 2 days after this webinar, and the video will be posted on our website, www.nkhurope.com. So, Beth?
Okay. So just to get started, I really want to invite you to, do the thing I always forget to do, turn off your phone or at least mute it, and just kind of bring yourself here to where we are. Maybe look around at your fellow searchers and bring ourselves here to be present. We're going to do something a little different today, and we're going to actually start with a meditation. So get yourself, comfortable, and you can close your eyes if you like, and just listen along. So we'll just sit quietly and breathe a few moments. Now, say to yourself, there is no life but this one. There are not two lives, one with and one without the transcendent and holy. This does not mean that things will remain the same. My life will continue to change and transform. But right here, right now, I am willing to accept, to be with, to receive my life as it is. As you allow yourself to do this, to enter into this moment, this time and place, also let yourself know, even if only a little, that it is by being here that you enter into the place where God, life, reality, the transcendent, helps us change what we need to change and simultaneously be in life as it is. This dance of change and acceptance, which is ongoing, takes place here, now, in the present moment. So now, just gently open your eyes and let yourself settle in for a minute. And then we'll share. Does anybody have anything, how was that experience? What did it feel like? That good. Did it feel difficult to try and be present in this moment, to know that this is where the holy is for us? Okay, I guess not.
Well, for me,
I was having a conversation with myself
Oh, Charles.
about some of the words
Mhm.
and how I related to the words.
Well, I guess now you can have a conversation with us.
And I God and the holy sit okay with me in as much as I was brought up in a religious family, so I'm kind of used to that kind of vocabulary. I wonder for people who are coming into this kind of work from not having that kind of experience, how these words will land with them.
Mhm. Well, I thought of that also, and tried to kind of, put a little bit, given a range, maybe the transcendent, or yeah. How did anybody else have that problem? Or not problem really, but did anybody else have that kind of an issue? Was the wording not accessible?
Sorry, it wasn't even an issue, Beth. It was more a
A thought.
it was a thought and a question,
Yeah.
and perhaps a curiosity,
Mhm.
because I'm always curious.
Yeah. Nice.
for me, I don't have any troubles with God or reality or so, but transcendence was. I thought, what do you mean by the transcendent? So that was for me the difficult words.
Okay.
Yeah, that got my attention too, because we know that we use different words. If people are not comfortable with the word God, all there is reality. So transcendence, that was, I mean, it just got my attention also.
Mhm.
But I love this meditation, and I loved that you talked about being with what is, and then also allowing room for change.
Yeah. It's important to not feel that things are always and forever going to be the same way, especially if it's difficult. So yeah, it's one of the things I love about this meditation also.
And if I may add something, that it's very interesting that we get caught with certain words.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to notice that. And maybe, like you, Charles, said, I'm curious, to stay curious. Instead of, sometimes we hear a word or a sound, or somebody, does the move. If I extend a little, further from this meditation, and then we immediately have a reaction. Sometimes in the body, sometimes we feel that we need to do something with that, where the challenge is to just, stay with that. This is actually being with the moment, and stay curious and ask yourself, oh, what's really happening? Why do I react to certain word or certain move or certain face even?
Okay. Well, so many of us believe that the wholeness that we desire and are looking for takes great effort to achieve, and exists in a realm somewhere far away from our everyday lives. But what if this wholeness actually lives within our most tender and simple selves? How would our lives be different if we knew where to look for this wholeness and could make it part of our daily experiences in life? So let's explore this a little bit.
When I was preparing for this webinar, one of the things that I did, and this is something that I do very often when I have to, present something or do something. So what I did, I spent hours on my computer searching for some really smart quote about tenderness. And I can't say that I found it. I found something nice once, but not that, that one that would really leave an impression on me, on all of you. There were quotes like tenderness is blah, blah, blah. You have tender eyes. When I hear your tender words. So after some time, I left it like that. I left it actually to sit with me. I allowed myself to sit with this, that I can't find that smart quote. And from time to time, I would touch this place. I would hug it or I would push it away. And one day, this question came to me. Why? Why do I need this smart quote? Well, one of the answers was because I would like to make an impression. It would impress me to make an impression on you. I don't know, maybe about, how smart I am, how intelligent I am, how kind I am. And I kept asking myself, why? Why? Staying with the question actually brought me to the present moment and to some more questions. And I would really like you to open your sensorium here, to listen with your whole body, not just with your ears, and stay with me and my questions, and maybe find your own questions within. Has the present moment more value? Is more important if I make an impression? In comparison to the moment where I'm just here, if I make an impression, is this better? Maybe someone will notice me. They will notice that I'm here. And then I know from the experience that some people won't notice that I'm here. And it is still the present moment. Do I like the moments when I make an impression on people and they turn to me and they smile to me and they think I'm so smart? Of course I do. Don't you? But what happens when I don't get this? Do I want to delete the present moment? Do I want to make it different? I admit, sometimes I do. And here comes the tenderness into the play. Because it is easy to feel tender and kind when we feel okay, and much more difficult when you would like to delete the present moment when from one reason or the other you don't like it.
So when I was preparing for this, a phrase from a meditation by the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh came to me. Very simple phrase. Breathing in, I dwell in the present moment. Breathing out, I know it is a wonderful moment. There's a lot to unpack in that phrase, but what jumped out at me was the word dwell. Dwelling, abiding, and being. There's something about these words to me that is compelling. They feel grounded and peaceful, as opposed to the words we generally use for our lives, or at least me, chaotic, scattered, frenetic. What is it about dwelling in the present moment that feels so very rich? And how can we do this? And why should we dwell in the present moment as opposed to some, other more exciting moment?
In the last couple of decades, there has been a lot of talking about the now. Books have been written, workshops and webinars offered. I remember when the Power of Now book came out, it was like, people have gone crazy about that. So no doubt this has happened to become an important theme. Even my teacher, my mentor and my very good friend, the founder of A Society of Souls and the creator of non-dual Kabbalistic healing, Jason Schulman, has recently published the book Beyond the Now. And all this make me think about the present moment even more. And again, I guess this is the way how I am. It opens the whole set of questions for me. And again, I'm inviting you to open your sensorium, observe yourselves, sit with me and these questions, observe where these questions land in your body. How do I relate with the present moment? How do I process it? How do I receive or reject it? Can I be fully present in the moment? How do I bend the reality of it in order to make it more palatable, digestible, accessible, kind? So maybe here's the moment to, just open your mics if you feel so, and maybe share how you feel with all that, how you feel with all these questions. Maybe you have your own question. Yeah, Charles first and then Denise.
I can relate to the question of being tender and kind to myself when all is well, and then when all is not well, how difficult it is to stay present and kind and tender to myself. That's one of those extraordinarily difficult things to do or be.
Yeah.
And I'm exploring different words for the word why. I'm inclined to use how come rather than why. Why is a really difficult word to use at times, and how come gives a different, takes in a slightly different direction.
Yes.
I don't have an answer. It's just something I'm exploring.
Yes, I totally agree. Why is a very sharp question. It's like an arrow pointing directly, and yeah, in some techniques of psychotherapy, the why is actually forbidden question because it brings people into trouble.
Yes.
Well, in non-dual Kabbalistic healing, we actually don't really want to avoid the trouble. We kind of want to learn how to be with the trouble. But I totally understand you. And it's, use both and play with it and see how differently your body reacts, your mind reacts, and yeah, stay curious. Denise, you wanted to share too?
Yeah. Yeah, this is how do I relate to the present moment? I want to relate to the present moment, but it's not always, I don't always do it. I forget. And but when I do it, that's so tender. Actually, there is tenderness in the moment, even though when I'm with the present moment, sometimes it's not. I mean, sometimes it's sadness, sometimes it's happiness, sometimes it's just ordinary life. But there is tenderness in it if I'm able to be with it. I mean, it just makes my whole body like just vibrate thinking about it. But my challenge is I forget, and sometimes I just I have this urgency of thinking about what's going to happen next or what happened in the past. But when I'm with the present moment, that's very tender. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of that.
You're welcome. Anytime. And I just have a question for everyone. Who else forgets from time to time to relate to the present moment, to be in the present moment? I think we all do. And the idea of spiritual growth and awakening is not to not forget anymore about the present moment. It's about how can I also be with that I forget about it. Yeah. So, thank you, Denise, to remind us about that as well. Anyone else wants to put a word or two into this moment?
Yeah, I can say something.
Yeah.
I find myself in a very mental state. Like, well, in the first place, what do we mean by transcendent? But now also, what is it to be in the present moment? How can I not be in the present moment? And am I present? And what does it mean to be present? And all that kind of, and I don't have any answers, but yeah, I'm there.
I think, Maris, this is a very good place to be at this moment when we have this webinar.
Okay.
And I think, because I know what we prepared with Beth, that maybe you will find some idea where to search for the answers, and maybe even some answers, maybe some, comfort in the fact that all these questions are here, and some of them may, annoy you or bother you, but you can still be here. And I agree. What is the present moment? That's one of my questions, was actually, how do I relate with the present moment? It kind of, opens the space. It also opens the fact that I don't know. Well, I sometimes think that being in the present moment is very much like being in the truth. And when I say the truth, I mean the whole truth, not only the likable parts of it, the pleasant version of it. This means to be with totality of what is here in the moment, joy and love, hurts and sorrows. And it is a tough job. It's a difficult one. And I have more questions, not answers. How is it possible to embrace all that? How can I be with all that? Am I big enough? Am I not too small to be with all that? How can I be kind to myself when I split the present moment in order to be what I like, and when I change reality in order to save myself? And then again, how can I be kind to myself when I don't split the moment? Because both is present. And both we need.
So why does Thich Nhat Hanh call the present moment wonderful? I think there's several reasons. This moment right now is the only one that we truly have. We have no idea how many moments we have left, and what joys or sorrows will fill them. And we have no idea whether the moments we have will end tomorrow or years from now. So it is a thing to be treasured, really. The moment that we are in is precious also, because it contains all the possibilities that there are. Every possible thing is held in this little moment. There is nothing that happens to us that doesn't happen in this moment. What happened in the past, obviously, is not occurring now. What's happening in the future will not happen until it is in the present. So, and finally, the present moment is a wonderful one because it is a door. It's an entryway for the transcendent to come into our lives. And Maris, I use that, and everyone else, I use the term transcendent. To me, it opens a lot of space for whatever interpretation. You can put God there, the universe, the thing that is more than us ourselves. So being in this moment allows space for that to happen, to come in and be with us. So, yes, we make room for the holy when we're present in this moment. Now, I don't know, a lot of us, or so I hear, and myself most definitely included, work very hard to get away from the present moment. We get stuck in reliving our past, in daydreams, in distracting ourselves, endlessly scrolling through social media, or I don't know, maybe that's just me, endlessly reading, the news of the day. We have thousands of ways to focus on anything but is right here in front of us. And it reminds me of skating on a lake. We all like, gliding along the surface. But because I am really bad at it, I mostly end up sprawled, on my hands and knees on the ice. And I find myself so much more interested in what is underneath it. The air pockets that are here and there, the twigs and the leaves, maybe that are caught within it, the fish, the frogs, all those things that I know are sunk in the depths there. And honestly, that is where the mystery is, where the important things can be found, is the underneath. And if we end up just gliding along, we'll also end up missing half of our lives. So I don't know, where are places that other people maybe get stuck trying to avoid? So it's just me.
I closed. Be brave, You never get stuck.
Definitely. I definitely get stuck, but yeah, well, it's where I am today, I think. But I think, where are the places I'm getting stuck? I have no idea. I get stuck over and over again, but how can I answer this question? So it's not because I don't get stuck, it's because I don't know.
And I'm wondering, because I don't stay in the present moment very easily, but I'm wondering if we truly do stay in that present moment and really are in that, are we then stuck? Because by definition, if we're in the moment, we can't be stuck.
Yeah, that's a good point, Charles. It came to me while I was listening to you that what does staying with the present moment actually means, where the present moment changes from moment to moment.
Yeah, it's a continuum.
Yeah, and it's ongoing continuum, ongoing change. I think that's why it is so difficult. There's a part of us that, is fighting against it. It's part of our nature. What do you think, Beth?
Well, that actually is a really, because you can't not be in the present moment. It's not really possible. I guess the thing that I'm more about is maybe experiencing the moment, the now, and not just flitting from one moment to the next and not really experiencing them, if that makes sense. There's a way to be somewhere and feel the fullness of it. And then there's a way to be somewhere, or, in time, and just, it's almost as though you're not really there. Because if you don't allow it to be present and to notice, I think that's the big thing. If you're not noticing, then yes, you're there, but you're missing. So much is missing, I think.
For me, being present, it's like it keeps changing. So I don't think I can be stuck in there because it's always changing. And I'm looking at it as if it's a surface. And there's contact with the surface. And it's like, it's a dynamic breathing thing. Yeah, it's like, it's everywhere. It's like surface. And it's like you have intimate contact with whatever is there. And because it's always changing, I don't think we can be stuck there. It's alive.
But does that mean that you can't be in the present moment when you're stuck?
No, actually, excellent question. Whereas, yeah, well, if you're aware of that you're stuck, I think that's you. Yeah, you can be in the present moment but you're aware with you are in touch with that surface, with that stuckness. Yeah, but that's a different thing. It's like I think maybe Charles said something about being stuck, or I'm not sure how I got that idea of being stuck. But no, when you're stuck and you're aware that you are stuck, I think you are in the present moment, that you're with your stuckness.
So is being in the present moment, is that about saying yes to what's there?
I'm not sure what I mean. So I when you say saying yes, that makes me like wonder. Well, being saying yes, you are saying no.
Yeah, well, you can say yes to saying no, of course, but say including everything what's there at the moment. It's
right. Yeah, but you may forget about some things too. That's allowed.
Of course.
Can I ask?
Yeah,
Can I ask? Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what is stuck? What is the sense of stuckness? Because the physical body is not stuck. So what is actually stuck?
Well, maybe you are in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, that may be one possible. I think there will be lots of different definitions, but you may be in history. So that I consider that as one version of being stuck.
But the past is part of the now as well, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Can I make a break here, because we are going into kind of ping pong conversation. Yeah. And I'm actually questioning, why this debate started. And if I look closer, one of the things that I see is it's really difficult to be in the present moment because we don't really know what that means. We have lots of ideas, and some of them we can confirm with experience or with sharing with others, but like some of you already shared today with the question or with the doubt, but what is present moment? What does it mean to be present in the moment? And we all, I see it as a kind of a distraction. And I believe we all need some level of distractions. And I also think this is not really very kind to us. And we, at the other hand, we all do that. Like I already mentioned earlier, we all split the present moment into the one that we like and the one that we don't. And if I go even further, I would say we split the moment into the, one with God and one where there's no God. One that is real and one that is not real. And I'm pretty sure that at least some of you have at least once landed in a thought like, God has abandoned me, there is no God here, or I don't know, any other version of that. Just raise your hand if you have ever thought about that. Or everybody abandoned me, or nobody likes
Oh,
me.
yes. Yes, we raise a hand.
Yes. Yeah. And this is the thing, this is the situation where we actually get stuck. Because we have split the totality of everything, trying to avoid the pain that is connected with this thought. Everybody abandoned me. There's no God here. God doesn't like me. God likes everyone but me. And at the same time, this is the motor and the moment when we start to search for a better life. The life that is really filled with the sense of real living. And when I think about that, I think about the past as well. The sounds of the past, the noise of imperfect upbringing, the childhood pain and terror, miseducation by accident or design, religious misconceptions, human limitations, and fear that block our true nature. We are being taught by this noise, which is information of a sort perpetuated by our families and culture, how not to be ourselves, but to live in the story of our history or the story of our rebellion against our history, both of which are unsatisfactory solution to the puzzle of being real. And for me, when we get caught in this treadmill, we are not in the present moment. These noises of the past are blocking us from being in the present moment, to feel and enjoy the what is here and now. Many times, being in the present moment is actually hard and painful, and it may even feel harmful. We may feel we are not enough. We may feel we are too small or too big. And all this comes from our personal history and the environment and the culture that we grew up with. And at the same time, on the path of the awakening, we start to realize that this is not all that there is. And when we manage to silence the noise of our past, we can open for the present moment.
And how do we do that? It's only when the pain of our existence gets loud enough and we have failed to find enduring happiness that we begin the journey of clearing away the noise, of separating the music of life from the voices of those who would deny us authenticity, and also the parts of ourselves that would deny us this as well. Starting to doubt that the way we see ourselves and the world is the whole truth is the first step in changing our lives. The first step on the path to becoming more of who we are, more us. This is the true meaning of being with the present moment as it is, taking it in or letting it be with the tenderness of our hearts. It is important to understand that being with the now as it is, being tender and kind, is not something that we have to achieve with practice and years of study or work. No, this is something that we're able to do at every moment. For me, the first step is to stop, to hit the brake on all the need to do things, the obligations and responsibilities, the needs, and just to slow down. So back to the ice. Rather than getting up quickly to save myself embarrassment, I stop. And I feel the coldness and the solidity of the ice underneath my hands and my knees, even when they hurt. I see the rest of the pond and the trees around it, the sky, the sun, and I smell that strange smell that says cold. And I let all of that reverberate through me. And then I find myself in the holy now. So, those are really the experiences in life that I treasure. That those are the times when I feel most alive, and the times that make me feel most grateful for being here in this life, the exact one that I have. And that's being in the now and how it helps us and why it's so important to do.
And we can all do that. It can be something we do while going for a walk. We can do that while, washing the dishes. Or being annoyed again by the neighbor's barking dog at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's not something you have to prepare yourself for. It's not like, some Zen meditation where you have to sit in a certain position and, hold certain criteria and all that. It's actually being in the everyday life, consciously present. And the thing is, we are co-creators of the present moment. Present moment is not something it's not a thing. You are co-creating it. Maris.
I have a question, but did you also see the questions that were in the chat?
Yes, I
Okay.
follow them. Yes.
Okay. Well, my question is, you said you can do it in real life and every moment. Does that mean that you can do it while you're stuck in the history? Well, when you see that you are stuck in history and still are stuck in that history and repeating things, and you see it, can you be in the present moment?
Of course,
Okay.
right? Because you're realizing that you're doing this, right?
And without stopping that, you are in the present moment.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
The moment you realize what's happening to you, you are in the present moment, in fact.
And whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Whatever.
Yeah. There is a question, isn't there an eternal moment of now? I must say, I don't really understand the question. Clarice, can you open your mic and
Yeah, sure.
say more? What do you mean?
I've heard it said, and I don't know from my own experience exactly, but that the present moment, that's all there is the present moment. And it just, that basically that's all there is. And to be present in it, for me, it's just not to be in your thoughts. Mostly just without thoughts, I feel like I'm in the present moment. Much thoughts are mostly history.
And
yet, go.
We have thoughts. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I would like to turn my mind off sometimes, but I haven't found, the switch for that. And a lot of those thoughts are of the past. They're happening now, though, right? These thoughts that that I'm having. It may be of something maybe something painful that happened years ago. But it's still, you're still here in this moment as that's happening. So you don't have to get rid of your thoughts to be able to be present. And I swear I'm going to look up like synonyms for present, because it's one of those things, if we keep saying it and it gets you start to forget what it means. But that's what I would say about that. I don't know, Tadeja, what do you think?
I think you've said it beautifully. I would even make one step further and said there's a difference between having thoughts about the past and past thoughts. I mean, thoughts are always happening now, like you say, Beth. But what are these thoughts about? It can be anything. It can be about the past. It can be about the future. It can be about the now. It can be about anything. Does that make sense, Clarice? This differentiation between?
Oh, I feel that there are moments, many moments where I don't have any thoughts, and I feel much more present when I don't have any thoughts. I think thoughts about the future are kind of delusional because future hasn't arrived yet.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the conditioning I have is from the past, and that pulls me out of the present moment for whatever negative egotistic judgments or other kind of negative thoughts pulls me out of the present. Mm-hmm. So I'm in a group call the Night Sky Sangha, which also is really about being present. And they meet quite frequently. I just became part of this group, and the person who leads the group is very proficient and articulate in this area, and I'm very enthusiastic and been on the spiritual path for a while, not that long, but a while. And the only thing that really stuck with me, that had any meaning, was being in the present and presence and the mystery of what it is. And the longer I do this, the less I feel I know. I don't know what a lot of what things really are and where they come from. And life is becoming a bigger mystery, I think, which I guess is good.
Yeah, I hear you, Clarice.
Oh, stop.
Although I have one question. You said that you have these moments of having no thoughts, and then you know you're in the present moment. But how do you know you're in the present moment?
Well, I probably shouldn't have said that, because I think that you can never really know if you're in the present moment. You can know if you're not. You can know if you're in the past by some of your thoughts or the delusion of the future. So you could know if you're not being present, I think, is easier. But to know if you're present, I think it may be impossible. Maybe, it's something that isn't graspable with the mind. Maybe there's another part of us, the spirit or being, that knows when we're present, but not the mind, not the ego, or whatever you want to call it, which isn't a real thing anyway. I don't think it's just a made-up thing, the ego.
Yeah, I would say I don't totally agree with that, but we don't want to go into that direction. We'll have, in the future, we prepare some seminars around the ego. The only thing I would still, say here is that the moment that we perceive as the present moment, we can do that because we have a thought about it. There's no way we can be without a thought. There's something that it's not really in our power to have or not have the thoughts. What we can do is we can get hooked with the thoughts, we can get spiraled with the thoughts, we can deny having them, we can reject having them, we can run away from them. But even when you touch something and you feel, the warmth or the sharpness of that thing that you touched, you can feel that warmth or sharpness only because you also have thoughts. You go like, oh, that's warm.
So basically you're saying sensory perceptions are constantly picking up on something, and there is never a moment that there is no thought.
Yeah.
Or even in meditation, like if you're doing a TM or something like that.
Well, I believe that you can, put yourself into a trance where you don't know that you have a thoughts. You're not present with your thoughts. You're not present with that dimension of being. I think it's possible, but the thought itself never ceased to exist. But I think Jason would agree with me on that, huh?
I think so.
But it is, the key is the relationship we have with that. It's the same with the present moment, is our relationship that we are aware of or not aware of, that we are co-creating, or just, even the leaf that falls off the tree in the autumn and seems like it's, you know, floating on the wind in the air and has no possibility to, you know, direct where it goes and where it not goes, is in the relationship with that air, is in the relationship with that wind. And that's what is in our power, to be aware of these moments of relating, of being in relationship.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I am now present to feel my body. I feel present in the now moment. And it just feels discomfortable. It feels very discomfortable. And I'm asking myself, how am I co-creating this? Is it possible to achieve I can also sense the tenderness in discomfort, but I'm just like asking myself, if I'm co-creating this, why am I not co-creating something where I could feel pleasure?
That's a good question. I think it doesn't work that way. You know, the way you put it, you know, the co-creation implies that here are we and there's this thing called, I don't know, discomfort or comfort. It's not like that. I think the co-creation is actually much more complex. You can't really define it and understand it on this cause and effect level.
And it's co-creation, it's not creation.
Yes, it's co-creation. I think, thank you, Maris. I think that's one of the reasons why it's called co-creation and not creation. It's like, I know, Brina, you're a painter. And as a painter, you can create a painting, but I'm pretty much convinced that you don't have to be a painter to create a painting. But when you're a really good painter, you co-create the painter. You are in relationship with the canvas, with the brushes, with the colors, with the paints that you use, with the impressions that are present while you are doing that, with the, let's say, object of your, I'm not sure it's a good term, object. I just don't remember. I can't recall a better word of that. But when you are co-creating the painting, there's a different level of relationship.
No, I can relate to that because you're always co-creating a painting. Otherwise you rape it.
Yes.
This is how we call it.
Yes.
We have the same awareness, and we had this teaching. We cannot rape the painting. We need to listen to it and adapt to it. So
Yeah.
is it then that I allow, like, I don't know, the answer of co-creating to, I don't know, maybe I answer to myself, that I allow discomfort to be kind with it, with me in this present moment, and just stay with it and figure, I don't know, be with it and give myself what I need to have, or maybe I don't need to give anything, but just to stay with it. But yes, it feels discomfortable. And I know the last time there was something similar, and if I stay with this discomfort, it's slowly but very slowly dissolves, very slowly. Is that co-creation? I don't know,
Yes.
because I'm listening to that. Okay, thank you.
I think you've put it very beautifully. Isn't she, Beth?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. And I love I mean, I'm a photographer, and I feel a similar way, that it's not like you're making it, you're letting it, right? And I could never explain it as beautifully as you just did. And yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Tadeja, could you maybe answer Chloe's?
Yes, I have.
Because
Oh,
okay.
yes. Yes.
Thanks.
And there's still Gordana's question as well.
I'm sorry, Merch, did you say you had a question?
Gordana still has a question.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I think it was, yeah, Gordana. How many moments has the present moment, or what is the real nature of it? You want to bite on that, Beth?
No, not really, but I'll try. How many moments has the present moment? Oh my God, that's like a koan, isn't it? I
Mhm.
mean,
It sounds like that, yeah.
what even is the answer to that?
Yeah. That was my thought, exactly. It's like a koan. You know the koans? You know, these Buddhist questions that there's no answer with. You kind of land with the answer, and then you realize it doesn't encompass everything that is present there. Although I have a thought about it, you know, how many moments has the present moment in the light of some things that we presented and exposed here today. I believe that our unhealed ego wants to extend the present moment into eternity, especially if this is, you know, the present moment that is where we really feel we are, you know, good and happy and everything's going our way. Our unhealed ego has this tendency, our wounded ego has this tendency to froze to this present moment into eternity. And then I would say this present moment can have many moments. Although at the same time, I think they're not real. Because the thing is, the present moment, the moment it happens is already the past. And the next one comes, and the next one comes.
Yeah.
This goingness of, you know, constant flow and change and yeah. Does that make sense, Gordana?
Well, it means that we are dwelling from moment to moment.
Yes.
We are not dwelling in the present moment, but we are just dwelling. And the moments pass by.
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. It's like on the train, you know, the landscape, the train stations, the towns, the villages are passing by while you are on the train. And you can notice them and go like, oh, look at the beautiful tree. Oh, this is really nice, you know, I don't know, old Austrian-Hungary Empire style station, or this is really where I would like the train to stop. And and sometimes you even open the window and breathe in the air. So the moments are still passing by, but you are part of them, and you can choose not to be. And then they just. So that's the difference between being present in the moment or not being present in the moment.
Okay. My question was actually going into that level of what is the real nature of it. It's not the past, it's not the future, and it's not the present as well. Or it's possibly not the present as well, no? So it is the connection, as far as I understood what you said right now, is our connection with it, our conscious connection with the moment.
Yeah.
One of it,
And-
whatever.
Yes.
And
Whatever, is it in the about past, or is it about the future, or is it about the present? So it's our a conscious connection with it.
Yes.
Because Beth said the thoughts can be about the past, but if you're conscious about it, well, it is a present moment.
I think that's something that Beth said already today.
Yeah. That is what she said. No?
Yeah.
So that would be somehow close to, for me to understand what is the nature of the being in the present moment.
Yeah.
Is the conscious connection with it.
I totally agree. And the idea of present is there and future is there, and I'm now here in the present moment is actually false.
Exactly.
Because
that was my feeling.
Your total past, the totality of all your past has brought you here in this moment. So in a way, all your past is present here. And it's like you said, and like we kind of, have been on this territory today several times. It's about the relationship with that moment, with the thoughts about that moment, with the feelings we have about that moment.
And our past is here, and as well as our longings for the future and our fears for the future, and our, that's also part of the present.
Definitely.
I have one question. Is it always the present moment connected to the feel that we feel in ourselves, in our body? Is it, I don't know, to be more exact, is it to be more present in the present moment where we are embodied, or more in our body? Was I exact enough?
Yeah, I think I understand. Your question. I will rephrase it, and you say if this is the same question. I think what you are asking is, can we feel the present moment more if we are also present in our body?
Yes.
Yeah. You want to go with that, Beth?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, I think when you're not in your body, you aren't really present. Maddie disagrees.
Well, I don't know. I've a thought, not so much to disagree, but because I think, well, if I'm allowed,
yes,
I think, isn't that the same true with your thoughts? Isn't it, if you split off from anything of you, that you're less present? So if you aren't in your body, you're less present. If you deny your thoughts, you're less present. If you deny your feelings, whatever you deny, you're less present. Does that make sense?
Definitely, Maris.
Yes.
Very well said.
Well, what about if you are aware that you're not aware of your feelings or your body or your thoughts? Something you're so what about that?
Also, I think.
I think this is a very precious moment, Denise. If you can allow yourself this level of kindness and tenderness, that you are not aware of where you are and how you are.
Yeah.
It's a very precious moment. Okay. Are we done, Beth? Huh? What do you think?
And so
Yeah,
feels
me too.
like it.
Yeah.
And I just Clarice just said something in the chat about the tenderness of the present moment being more intimate if you're being authentic. I mean, yes, that's pretty much authentic. I mean, we haven't really said authenticity that much, but yeah, that's what being present and being intimate with everything, right? Whether you're feeling something or you're not feeling it and you're not, or what, all of that. It's a very large container and a large whole. So whole as in like whole thing, not whole, like, sorry.
Yes, I agree.
So,
I agree.
okay.
The thing is, I can't imagine the tenderness of the present moment without intimacy and authenticity. They kind of co-arise together. Okay.
I would like, I don't know if people have time and if you want to, but I would like to do the meditation again and then much more slowly. There's much more time between the sentences so really drop into it after we talked about it. I don't know others.
I would love to do that. And I think it would be such a different experience from in the beginning. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, good. All right. So we'll sit quietly and breathe a few moments. Now, say to yourself, there is no life but this one. There are not two lives, one with and one without God. This doesn't mean that things will remain the same. My life will continue to change and transform. But right here and now, I am willing to accept, to be with, and to receive my life as it is. As you allow yourself to do this, to enter into this moment, this time, and this place. Also let yourself know, even if only a little, that is by being here that you enter into the place where God, reality, the universe, helps us change what we need to change and simultaneously be in life as it is. This dance of change and acceptance, which is outgoing, takes place here, now, in the present moment. Now, gently open your eyes and just let yourself settle in for a minute. And then we can share. Well, it felt different for me just reading it. How was it for you?
More present.
Yeah.
All of my body feels hot, really hot.
Really?
Yeah,
There's
something
definitely,
is releasing.
yeah, something happening. Yeah.
I could much more sink into it this time.
Mhm.
Really feel it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think there's also something about having spent the time together, you know, and being in relationship to this present moment, and the very idea of it with each other. That also makes the second one feel different. Well, it seems like a good place to stop. I hope you all enjoyed it, or at least found something helpful. And we'll see you again.
And Clarice has a question.
Yeah, yeah. Will there be more meetings like this? Please include me in the list. I'm surprised that there was no more people showing up. Yes, Clarice, there will be more meetings. And if you registered through the channel that was sent out by mail and our website, you are on our mailing list now, and you will receive invitations. And I think that more people didn't show up because we had technical problems with people.
Yeah, I can say that I applied in, and I wanted to apply with the computer, so I applied out. But when I tried to apply it with the computer, something was not working, so
Yeah.
I came back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we will definitely change this. We will, next invitation we will send without passcode. So we received information today that a lot of people had problems with the passcode. So yes, Clarice.
Yeah, I've seen meetings with, I think, NKH, is that correct? That 500 people show up, and very big membership.
Yeah.
I think mostly the people who showed up are in Europe, or I'm not sure. I'm in Freehold, New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm in Middletown. How crazy is that?
Where are you?
Middletown, New Jersey.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, our next seminar is going to be in January, because we'll have to have those winter holidays off. January 15th, and we haven't decided on a topic yet, so we'll send out the invitation and let you know. And
I think this topic is a wonderful topic. You could take it. I'm discussing this topic every week, 3 times a week now. Maybe.
Wow. So thank you, everyone. And goodbye.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate this.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
See you in 2
Bye,
months.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone. Be healthy and well.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.